Okay, so here I have everything laid out. Under here I have my 2 layers of the pattern fabric, as well as the flannel in between, which is going to act as like batting, just to give it a bit of sort of soft cushiness. And then along here is the strip, the pocket strip. So I have lined up how I want all my items to go, like in order. And here you'll see that I've put 2 pins, and this is to accommodate for the binding that we're going to put on. Just so, like, if you were to line this up and put this right at the end, when you sew that and it's all assembled, it's not actually going to fit because of the seam allowance. So that's there so that when I place my items in, I can start at the correct point and then measure where my my lines are going to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all that. I'm going to place all my items in and mark where the lines are going to be. So here I have everything laid out and all pinned, so that the little pockets are all the exact size that I'm going to need them. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take everything out, and I'm going to sew down where I've marked the pins. Luckily with this fabric, it's because of the lines, I can just follow them rather than marking out all these individual lines. So when I take out my items, if you can see, I can just follow the lines down. So this first one is obviously in this light blue line, and then yeah, so on and so on. So I'm going to do that now. So here I have sewn all of my little lines. The end here, after my last item, which was my foundation, I'm just going to leave this pocket open so I can just put anything in. So that's that. I've only sewn the length of the actual pocket, but you can go all the way if you want to. I just didn't. Okay, now for this part I'm going to attach my elastic, because this is going to go around a frame that I'm going to be making in another DIY video that's going to have all my makeup on it. If you don't want the elastic and you just want to be able to close it with a tie, you can just sew on a ribbon or a piece of fabric that you've turned into a bias. But this is what I'm personally doing. So I've gone ahead and marked the middle of my elastic and the middle of my makeup case. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to sew it right in the middle, the length of the elastic. I've just got it placed a little bit above where the pockets end. If you can see this is where the stitches end. So I've just got it a little bit above that so that I don't sew on the pockets. And so I'm just going to go and sew on this middle one, and then I'm going to stretch it and sew probably a couple more times, maybe about probably a few inches in between And I reckon I'm probably going to go the length of the elastic, possibly. Or maybe just two on each other side of the middle. I'll just sort of wing it and see how I go. Okay, so now I have my elastic sewn on the back. And as you can see, because I've had to pull it tight while I sew it, it's gathered up all the fabric, which is fine because once I put it over the frame, it's going to stretch out and straighten again. So this is what the back looks like. And again, it's all puckered. I ended up putting about 3 or 4 on each side. And then after I've put the binding on all around the edge, I'm going to pull it again and sew it right on the edge. Okay, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two ends of the elastic and I'm going to sew them together. So that's going to make a loop. And that will be where the frame obviously slides through the middle of it. Okay, so after sewing the two loose elastic ends together, this is what I now have. I've already obviously slipped it over the frame that I'm going to be using. And to find out what I'm going to be doing with this frame, that'll be in my next tutorial, or DIY video, whatever you want to call it. So now I just have to go around all the edges with bias. But yeah, they're all in there. You know, they slip in and out nicely. Yeah, really happy with it.